Alright, what's up everybody? This is gonna be another build video, and this one's going to be for Stamden. This is a BG and Cyrodiil and Imperial City build. So you can pretty much take this into any content, and I think it does pretty solid for me. It's been able to 1vx occasionally. I mean, I just don't do a lot of 1vx content, so if you end up doing a lot of 1vx content, that's probably, this build will probably go up your alley for that. But let's jump straight into the sets, because I know that's everyone's favorite part. Now, you can either run all medium on the body pieces, but I like to put on the heavy chest plate, and you can even put on the heavy legs now too, because they did change the armor passives in the last patch, so you don't need to wear 5 medium now. But we also have a heavy head and a heavy shoulder to get the extra health percentage from the heavy armor skill line. And we are running 5 pieces of shackle breaker on the armor, and the chest is reinforced, the legs are infused, and the rest of the body pieces are impenetrable, and they are using stamina enchants on the body piece, the small body pieces, and max health enchant on the chest, and a max stamina on the legs. You can change the legs to a max health if you feel you need more health, but I feel like we have pretty low stam already, so if you go a bit lower, you might come into sustain issues, which I don't have currently on this build. I feel like our resource pools are perfect right now. And then optimally, you'd want to have these both impen or well fitted right here, or you could even have the head reinforced, but I'm hurting for transmute, so these are what I add, and this is what we're using. So Future Wyatt here yet again, and this is because I forgot to mention the traits and enchantments of the jewelry. So for the necklace, we are running infused with a weapon damage enchant, and for one of the rings we are running in a healthy trait with a weapon damage glyph, and for the other ring we are running infused also and another weapon damage enchant. Now for the body pieces, or not for the body pieces, but for the jewelry, we are running Deadlands Assassin for both the front and back bar. Now you could run Potentates on the back bar, I'm just haven't wanted to farm it out. But one thing we want to make sure is we want to have either a precise or nern-honed or sharpened sword for our 2H here, because we want to have either the extra crit damage for our burst combo to have a little bit more burst to it, or nern-honed and just forgo the crit chance, or sharpen to get extra pen. For the back bar, you don't want to have precise. I'd prefer to have healing, or not healing, but power. Yeah, powered here to make our bigger ticks and our Arctic Blast heal us more, and then reinforced here just to get extra armor value here. And that is it for the sets. Now let's cover Future Wyatt here, guys. I did forget to mention what boon, what mundus stone we are using, and what food we are using, because I'm a numbnut. But for our serpents, God, can I talk please? But for our mundus stone, we are using the serpent. It's not called our serpent stone, but I guess you could call it that if you want to. But now, and our food is the dubious Comoran throne. I do not recommend running Sultry's, whatever that is, the blue food, I can't remember its name, the Sultry's lava soup, because we lose out on quite a bit of max health, and we're going for being decently tanky here. And if you want to spend the extra money, go for the Artam takeaway broth, the gold food here, that basically just gives you a little bit more of the max stats and health recovery too. But honestly, I'd just run Dubious, Gamor, and Throne. And our potions, if we want to run tri-stat recovery potions, or to get the extra resources, since we do use every resource. Or you can use weapon crit potions, since we do not have a source of major savagery. Or you could just use trash stamp pots, and that works good enough too. But your best results are going to be from tri-stat potions, or immovable potions too. I forgot to mention those. Alright, Future Wyatt is out. Peace. Where the stats are a little bit really fast. Now we have about 14,000 magicka. 32,000 health unbuffed here. Let's alright. Now this goes up to 35,000 once we get one of our Warden passives going. Our health and magicka recovery aren't really all that special. But we have about 25,000 stamina, and we have close to 1,800 stamina recovery. This goes up with our Betty Netch and forward movement or rally. It goes up to about close to 2k, and this is by far more than enough, since with this build we end up doing a lot of medium attacks or heavy attacks. And our weapon damage is 5,600, close to that when we're buffed up. And we are having a I can't even read this morning, but 19% crit chance, and our physical penetration is almost nothing. But then also our resistances are pretty low too, at 13k unbuffed. But with Ice Fortress, I've noticed that that isn't really a problem, especially with our Vigor Ticks and our Arctic Blast. Those both make us really hard to kill because of how great of healing and how much that minor protection actually does for us. And that's about it for the build, for the gear sets and our stats. Now let's go into the skills. Now on our front bar, we are running Executioner, Dizzying Swing, Sub Assault, Bird of Prey, Rally, and Dawnbreaker of Smiting. Now, this seems to be the best front bar setup that I've been able to find for my Warden. But now we got our back bar, which is our sword and board bar, which we have Pierce Armor, Arctic Blast. You could use the other morph of this. I just like this because I use it more for selfish reasons rather than to help anyone else. Resolving Vigor, Bull Netch, Ice Fortress, and Enchanted Forest. Now this is kind of a flex spot. You could use permafrost here. You could use shield wall. Where's that? Back to spell wall. You could use spell wall here too. But just pick whichever one you like the most. I think spell wall is nice, but I've always found more success with Enchanted Forest because of how cheap it is, and if you're using it as an emergency heal like you should be. With this, you're gonna have 20 ultimate right back, and we have really high ulti gen with blood spawn and getting pelted a lot. So there's that. Alright, and now let's cover the champion points. So we're just gonna skip over the green tree because I don't think that really plays that big of a role. And whatever you're trying to do, that's kind of just personal preference on what you're trying to do with the character at the time. But let's go into the blue tree here. So it's important to start with this Tireless Disciple at first, because most of our trees that we need, we don't really care about the critical chance on this build at all. So I'm gonna come up straight to straight up to this tree, this little star right here, and just pick up the first one, the first node for this if you don't have enough CP, because our big things are master at arms and deadly aim up here, because we're trying to be able to burst single targets down, and also these two affect our main burst combos here. I mean, and I don't want to go with this one right here, because that one would affect both our Dawnbreaker and our Shulks. But we need the tankiness that's going to come from these trees down here. So I like to also pick up, so make sure you just get at least one tick into this so you can pick up Ironclad, because that is also another one of our key stars here. And I would honestly recommend getting this before you get either one of those two damage stars, because this is going to boost your survivability in this tree. And then also duelist rebuff, because we don't want to get burst down ourselves by some gank blade who's got a lot of damage. And then after that, you can work on maxing out this right here. You can max out this, you can pick up this, you can pick up that. I mean, honestly, it just doesn't really matter at this point, because there's not really much else you can do on that tree. But here's another big one. Now, big thing is you want to start right here. You want to get this star, and then you want to go over here, get at least 1 point into the, at least one stage into this, I mean, so you can pick up Juggernaut. So you'll get that 5% damage reduction while under crowd control immunity, which is gonna be happening a lot since everyone's running some sort of crowd control dark convergence. And yeah, that's a really important thing. Also, we want to pick up Boundless Vitality for the extra health here. And Expert Evasion is also a very nice one. Next, we kind of want to just pick up this star right here, and then we want to go into this star, and we want to pick up at least one stage of this, and then we want to pick up this whole star right here, because we want to have that speedy movement speed, and then you want to finish up this too. And then after this, it's kind of just picking up the extra bonuses everywhere, like that you don't have the slot, because we already hit slot cap, and then just pick up like Sprinter, Tireless Guardian, I don't know, other things at this point. Oh yeah, you can finish off this if you haven't already, but yeah. And that's it for my champion point section. So the main way that you kind of want to play this build is you're going to want to kind of try and play around having your ult up if you can't necessarily, if you want to try and burst people down, because either way you can burst people down with this build, because of sub assault, medium attack, and then dizzying swing or executioner. Like, this build just has a lot, and if you come up to a target that you don't burst down on the first try, you just hit them with the pierced armor, and their resistances are gonna plummet down the drain by 7k. That's gonna give you a lot of extra damage coming there if they're a tough target. But our main combo is going to be sub assault, medium attack, Dawnbreaker, uppercut, or executioner, depending on what their health is. So just make sure that when you're doing that, you have Rally Up, Golden Edge, this, Ice Fortress up. Also, one thing that I need to mention, if you notice that you are getting hit by a lot of plague breaks or plague carrier explosions, do not activate Bullnetch, because that will get you killed in the wrong spot, in the wrong times, because it will purge that dot at the wrong time when you least needed it, and then you will notice that you suddenly went from 12k health down to 7k health, and then you're going to be even in a bigger spot of distress. So if you notice that green pillar above your head, stop casting Bullnetch until you can get away from that person, whoever is using Plague Break, because it's very painful. And Another thing is I only use Arctic Blast here whenever I am getting hammered and I need a sort of big burst heal that isn't exactly health, that isn't stamina based. So what I'll usually do is I'll activate Arctic Blast to get my health back up in case I'm in execute range. I'll activate Vigor, and then I might activate Arctic Blast again. And I'll use my Rally if that hasn't ticked off yet, but usually I like to try and let Rally tick off at the end on its own so I get the most heal out of it. And that's about it for that. Alright guys, now that's gonna be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm going to be leaving a link down below in the description for some gameplay footage that was taken this patch. It was before Hrothgar's Chill was nerfed, so that was hitting extra hard, like like, you know, you get some stupid 16k damage ticks from that, and that was just stupid, but it's still solid, and this build is actually even better now because Hrothgar kind of got nerfed a bit, so I'm not seeing as many 16k procs off of that. And I hope you guys enjoyed the build. I hope this helps you guys play Stamden out, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.